What's up YouTube, Tars Gaming back here, and I have a special little video for you guys. It's my very first anime review on this YouTube channel. Now, I'm going to basically just read an old review that I made for this anime, a long time ago. Let's see what the date was. December 31st, 2012. Probably sooner than that, actually, because, this isn't quite accurate. But 2012 I made this anime review, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to read what I wrote back then on my old Facebook page. The anime that we are reviewing today is called Elfen, which is translated in German as Elf Song, from what I know. I did a little bit of research. I'm not sure if that's correct. If it is, let me know in the comments below. But anyway, Elf Song sounds like a cutesy little vanilla anime, right? Dead wrong. Let me first explain two things before we start this review further. A, I have a sort of color system and a star system rating. The colors vary from white to black, and depending on the color, it'll depend on like what the meaning is and all that. You'll see what I mean at the end of the video when I give it the ratings. Now, I can say for a fact that Elfen Lied is everything a vanilla anime is not. Elfen Lied is one of the sickest, goriest, most twisted anime you will ever see. Now, granted, it's 2015. I've never seen Berserk, but I know if I see Berserk, I'm fucking up. But it is one of the goriest, sickest, and most twisted anime I have ever seen. And I think you guys can agree that it is very fucked up. Right off the bat, it's gory and brutal. Maybe not as gory as it could have been, but goddamn, we're talking about heads being popped off like a curb stomp or a headshot from Gears of War. And if you've ever played Gears of War, you know that shit is fucking intense. There are a lot of moments in this anime that are not for the faint of heart, nor those who find things such as child molesting, incest, or anything else such as that disturbing. There's a train in the background. Yay! On the bright side, I will be replacing any background audio with some music. Anyway, this is a very dark and bone-chilling anime that can literally turn people insane. You may just end up finding certain things like murder actually okay. Okay, not really, but it is kind of mentally disturbing, and it is a little fucked up. You might want to try and find a anime support group or something. Believe me, if you think Dead Man Wonderland is a sick anime, you have not seen Elfen Lied. Again, disclaimer, I have not seen shows like Berserk. That's really the only fucked up anime I can think of besides Shiki, but I mean, I've watched that. I've watched Blood Sea, which I'll review all that at another time. Anyway, it's really no wonder as to why Elfen Lied is rarely mentioned within the anime community, except for when it wants to point out all the fucked up shit that happens. And it's not very hard to see why it sometimes feels like taboo to certain people who have been actually affected by it. Believe it or not, there have been people who have really been not okay because of this anime. Don't get me wrong, however, because it's still a great anime as long as you can get past all that. What do I think of it? I give it an 8.7 out of 10 as far as stars go, and I mark it a blacklist anime. Though I would love to see a second season one day because the ending was a super cliffhanger. I'm not going to spoil anything, but it was really fucking, like, cliffhangery. Like, now, blacklist anime. What do I mean by that? A blacklist anime basically means that, the anime is really incredibly dark. You see what I mean? It's incredibly dark, and let me explain my color system here. White, green, blue, red, and black are the colors that I have. Yes, I know, that sounds just like Magic the Gathering, which is funny because I have never played Magic the Gathering before writing this system down. Now, here's the system. The order goes in order white to black in terms of how dark the anime is or isn't. Obviously, anime in the blacklist are super dark, morally disturbing, or otherwise. Meanwhile, white anime are super light, really cheery, and just straight up vanilla. As for green, blue, and red, they can somewhat vary. For example, a green anime can have one dark moment in it, but the rest can be super vanilla. Meanwhile, red anime could be super dark, but have a few vanilla moments in it. Then blue is like somewhere in the middle. It's like the neutral zone, you know, the twilight zone. But anyway, that's really it. You know, that's my whole review for Elfenlied. That was what was originally written. But I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to go further into detail. The characters were okay. They were sort of 2D in the fact that, like, they're the same typical anime characters. And, oh yeah, you know, you got the one chick, she's kind of messed up in the head, split personality after she got sniped in the head with a fucking bullet, you know. I'm not really spoiling anything that happens in the very first episode near the beginning, like halfway through the episode maybe. So, I'm still claiming this review to be spoiler free. And of course, you know, she's half brooding and evil and half cute and sweet, and it's like, just, okay, that's actually an original concept. I don't see too many anime doing that, you know. I mean, sure, you got the whole Yondir thing, but it's a split personality. It's not like a full dare type thingy, you know what I'm trying to say here. You picking up what I'm putting down. But all the rest of the characters are like standard, you know. They're generic. You see them in just about any kind of anime even remotely similar to this. The soundtrack is actually pretty okay. It can be eerie at times, and it fits in with the anime, so I like it. It really helps create the atmosphere. I just kind of wish it was a bit more memorable, to be honest, because I'm trying to think right now. I can't really think of anything impressive from Elfenlied, or anything memorable like Dead Man Wonderland's main theme song, or Bleach's Ominous Presence OST. You know, I can't really think of anything memorable like that. Or the song that plays whenever Naruto is like getting his ass whooped and then he's making a comeback. You know, songs like that. Songs that leave an impression. There were none. Sure, they fit the atmosphere just fine, and they definitely did the anime a favor, but they weren't impressionable. They didn't leave any sort of impression on me. Simple as that. Moving on, we also have plot and writing. Now, the plot is very plot heavy. Boobies, titties, nipples, booty. Yes, a lot of that. You're gonna see a lot of naked chicks. Get used to it. Ignore it. I've said this time and time and again in my life. I'm gonna say it for the very first time on this channel. Nudity means nothing. What is important is the story, the characters, the setting, all that stuff. Look past the fan service, people. Ignore it. It is only there to provide a slight edge in entertainment value. And you need to remember that it's not that big of a deal. Anyhow, moving on. Elfenlied is sort of, it's a little deep, but at the same time, you know, the plot is a little predictable at certain points. Like, I'm not going to go into detail and spoil anything, but just trust me on this. It can be a little predictable at times. However, I do still think it was decently written. You know, I think it was well written enough to where it deserves the score I gave it. And it definitely provides something unique. It's very dark, and something I kind of enjoy watching these dark anime every once in a while, because, you know, there's too much like vanilla and lightsy, cutesy stuff all the time. That's why I actually really enjoy Attack on Titan, because it can be pretty dark. I enjoy Sword Art Online because there were dark moments that made me feel emotionally invested, and Elfenlied actually made me feel a little emotionally invested during a specific scene and with a specific character, a little girl, and I'm not going to explain why or go into detail because I really don't want to spoil anything for those of you who may not have seen it. Although Elfenlight is a pretty old anime at this point, so I mean, if you haven't seen it, you're fucking up. Go watch it. But, you know, if you ever watch Elfenlied, you'll see what happens to the little girl, and you'll see how fucked up it is. It's really, it's messed up, and I really had a problem watching it. You know, I stomached it. I toughed it out. I willed myself through it, and I finished the anime. And I'm glad I finished the anime because it was really good, but it's not necessarily for everybody. So, with that being said, I will leave my final score of 8.7 and give it a blacklist for the anime. Watch at your own discretion. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope this video turns out well because I will be putting my voice over clips of the anime, and we'll see how that goes from there. Thank you all, and I'll see you next time. Peace.